All right. Bada bing, bada boom. We are live. Damn. Who insta-liked it? That's crazy. There we go. Live. Let's go on Telegram. We are live. Awesome. Okay. So, let's wait for everyone. All right. Should be good. All right. Hello, welcome. Awesome, guys. Thank you. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, we'll go ahead and begin. There's quite a lot I want to talk about in today's structure, starting with Ethereum, of course, seeing a massive rally here, and there's a lot I want to cover on this trade. So if you can hear me loud and clear, let me know, and then we'll go ahead and begin. Okay, you can hear me? Everyone good? Awesome. Thanks, Bo. All right, so I want to quickly talk about Ethereum's price structure, exactly what's going on here. So you can see that we had the initial trade setup. Now, just going over on the 4-hour interval, we had this massive V-shaped formation yesterday. I told you guys that if Ethereum, of course, ends up breaking below 32.17, then this massive bar formation were to play out. This is why we wait for certain levels to break first before we enter. And you can see that, of course, that was invalidated. We didn't really lose anything because we didn't enter the trade setup. We were simply just waiting for the break structure of 32.17. Pretty much later in Asia hours, we saw a massive breakout from the exponential moving averages. Then we saw the retest as support. Then I pretty much woke up right around here and I noticed that Ethereum was in a massive V-shaped formation. Now, with V-shaped formations, you have to be very careful because the problem with V-shaped formations is a lot of times you'll see something like this and then a fake out situation back down. That's why I was waiting for the completion of the wick high here before we took a long position on Ethereum. By doing so, we pretty much knew that if Ethereum breaks above this wick high, that is not only a completion of the V-shape, but also a massive squeeze opportunity. You can see that Ethereum ended up breaking above that wick high, and then we saw that continuation trade, a very nice scalp opportunity. And you can see pretty much if you traded the next wick high, you were in profit regardless. But now we are starting to see Ethereum get pretty extreme in terms of resistance. 36.83 is a red line. For those of you that know, red lines are major daily resistance levels. If we look here at previous price analysis, you'll notice a few things. Number one is the fact that you can see we saw multiple retest opportunities at this zone and multiple rejections as well back in March. We had 3 days of rejections. We had a fake out situation. We had some support retests as well. And this is why we have to be very careful. A lot of traders are probably looking at this right now and saying, oh, this is a massive breakout opportunity and FOMO, and pretty much try and look for that continuation. And I've been pretty hesitant today. You guys will notice that I didn't send a lot of trade updates, although there was a lot of trades. And the reason for that is I am being very cautious leading into holiday volume for tomorrow. I don't necessarily want to get caught out on price structure mostly during holidays. And when you have holiday volume like this, you have to be very cautious because, again, if the market decides that it wants to see a flush, this is the zone for Ethereum to see that flush opportunity. Now at 36.83 is a major resistance point. It's a major reversal point. And again, we can see from previous price analysis, this was where Ethereum started to see those major rejections. Now, of course, if 36.83 does end up breaking later into tonight, then ladies and gentlemen, there is a massive trade opportunity for Ethereum. Just like our Bitcoin trade at all-time high, I am going to put my tinfoil hat on here and teach you guys something once again. Remember my Bitcoin trade set up a long time ago and I said I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. If Bitcoin breaks all-time high, we're going to see a massive run. I'm putting the same hat for Ethereum right now if, of course, we end up breaking above this zone at 36.83. Pay attention here and the reason why. Now, you can see that pretty much on Ethereum on the daily structure, 40.28 is the point of interest. The reason why is you can see from previous price analysis, that level, every time it broke out above, we saw a massive squeeze on Ethereum. Every single time we broke out of that zone on the daily structure. Now, looking at Ethereum on a larger time frame like this, you will notice that as of right now, we are now heading into the third test opportunity on 40.28. From a swing position, 40.28, if it does end up breaking, Ethereum is going to rally way past all-time high. The same momentum trading that we did with Bitcoin during all-time high is the same opportunity that it is presenting itself as of right now. The main deciding factor, of course, is 3683, as well as using your exponential moving averages as support. If Ethereum does end up breaking out, then guys, we're pretty much only going to be looking for long positions at least until 40.28. If, of course, 40.28 does end up breaking with some momentum, then we are looking for a new all-time high on Ethereum, and that's where things get extremely silly for a lot of us. The same way on Bitcoin, I'll explain the same setup on Bitcoin here. Remember my crystal ball? Like, I still had the same sort of levels drawn here. Look, I had the first test, the second test, and I said, look, if this third test ends up breaking, we're going to see a squeeze on Bitcoin. We saw the same exact massive price rally on Bitcoin, which we are now focusing on Ethereum as well, zoomed out. If Ethereum ends up breaking above this zone, then yes, we are going to print a massive candle, and it's going to be a very large opportunity for a lot of you guys to pay attention to. Now again, looking at Ethereum right now, does that mean on the 4-hour time frame, I'm now looking for a long position here? No, and the reason why is we need to see our exponential moving averages being respected. We need to see our previous resistance now being used as support. We need to have more confirmations for us before we start looking into those price action movements. But if we can somehow later tonight see a small correction and then a continuation, then yes, I will be paying heavy attention to 3683 for a massive swing position or even a large scalp position on Ethereum. Going over to Bitcoin, pretty much V-shaped formation. You can see same sort of situation. This is why we were scalping Bitcoin today. We scalped it all the way up into third 97.4. I said if 97.7 ends up breaking this wick right here, we're going to see a continuation. Very nice trade setup. Again, the same correction move that I'm talking about now. This is why I was being very cautious with Bitcoin today. I didn't want you guys to get caught out on Bitcoin because, again, if the market decides today this is a fake out, a lot of traders are going to regret looking for long positions here. This would be the perfect opportunity for that flush, and that's why I'm telling you guys, be careful with the current trade setups. Regardless of how many green candles you're seeing, Bitcoin is notorious for these sort of flush opportunities. If, of course, we are looking for another retest of these wick highs, if Bitcoin somehow later in Asia hours hits 98, then I would not be looking for any shorts. And again, we're not looking for shorts right now anyways, although we are above exponential moving averages. Only time we were shorting was below the EMAs. Now that we're above, now what we're waiting for here is a retest of support, a close above, and then a long position. That's what we're focusing on as of right now. No more short opportunities, no more shorting anything right now because, again, everything is trading above its exponential moving averages. There's no reason for you guys to be shorting anything right now, right? You're not supposed to be in shorts when you see a break of the EMAs. When you see a break of the EMAs, we're looking for long scalps. If you're trying to swing the position, you want to hit the 9 and the 20 EMA, see a bounce opportunity, and then a continuation. That's pretty much what we're looking for on that front. Now, Doge, everyone's favorite coin. You guys want to talk about Doge. I'm not going to touch too much into it. I'm just going to touch briefly into it because I'm going to be talking about it in the video shortly. But look at Doge compared to the rest of the market, right? Everyone was saying, okay, Bitcoin's booming, Doge is booming. I'm going to start looking for long positions on Doge. The problem here, which you're seeing right now, is Doge is very weak. Again, just like I told you guys in the past few days, look what happened again on Doge. And this is how you know whether or not we are looking for a fake out or, of course, a proper bullish confirmation. Doge, since its breakout opportunity of 44, which of course failed to hold at support, then it flipped to resistance, then it came down, then it flipped 42 as resistance, then it came down, then it flipped 40 as resistance, and now again flipped 40 as resistance, and the bulls are now fighting for the exponential moving averages. This is not something bullish. This is not something you want to see. The only time I would be looking for a long position on Doge is, of course, we broke the midterm resistance at 4863. We got close to it, but we didn't break it. Remember, if you're trading wick breaks, you have to be very disciplined on the break. You're not trading just based off the fact that it's getting close. You are waiting, being disciplined, and once it breaks, then you enter a long position. Otherwise, you're simply going to sit on your hands and wait for the trade to come to you. Now, worst case scenario on Doge is, of course, the market does end up flushing and Doge falls right back down into this low again. We're still in the dangerous zone. We are not out of the woods just yet. I've told you guys this many times. If you're looking for a long position on Doge, it's going to be at 48 cents. Otherwise, this is simply what we're seeing, right? We're seeing lower lows on the way towards the downside. Right now, the market, of course, has shifted a little bit, but again, we're still not out of the clear just yet. Our exponential moving averages are still being fought. This is still considered a no trade zone with the EMAs going sideways. That's why I didn't send you guys any trading updates on Doge today. I didn't say long Doge. I didn't say do anything with Doge, is because of the fact that the market still has not decided which direction it wants to go as of right now for Doge. For a lot of these coins and altcoins, you can see a lot of these altcoins didn't do anything today, right? All the news was with Bitcoin and Ethereum. But look at Cardano. Cardano didn't do anything. Look at XRP. XRP didn't do anything. This is why a lot of traders get trapped. And I told you this example yesterday as well. Is just because Bitcoin is booming or Ethereum is booming does not mean you need to enter long positions across the board on all your favorite altcoins. It does not make sense to do that because, again, if the market ends up rejecting, or of course you see a fake out situation, now you're stuck in multiple trade setups for loss. You're not stuck in one. Focus on one trade at a time. If the market is looking for a breakout opportunity and you see Bitcoin rallying, you see Ethereum rallying, you see some of the altcoins starting to move, that will give you a much better understanding of when to look for long positions. Otherwise, right now, we are simply just sitting on our hands with altcoins. I have been very hesitant today to send anything in the chat. You guys will notice from our Telegram, there was a lack of messages, although there was supposedly a lot of trades happening, right? And the reason why is because I didn't feel comfortable telling you guys, okay, guys, massive swing long position, we're going to 100K. It's not the type of volume that I want to enter with you guys, and it's definitely not the sort of trade setup either. If, of course, we break above this wick high zone, then sure, different sort of question. But right now, it's very easy for a lot of folks to get trapped right here, and Bitcoin ends up breaking back down. That's what we've seen happen time after time after time. And again, even with Ethereum, 3683, just based on the previous daily price analysis, was the exact level we saw multiple rejections on Ethereum, multiple fake out opportunities. You can see a perfect example of this right here. We had the same exact move set, ripping up from the highs of 3200 into 3683 and then rejecting all the way back down into 2900. Don't be that trader that gets caught out on these trade setups just because it's the first green candle they have seen. Does not mean that if Ethereum, of course, is going to zero, that's not the point of the conversation. The point of the conversation is just be patient, let the market come to you, wait for the proper entry and the proper confirmation, and then enter your long positions, then trade the market, right? If you're guessing here, you're guessing at a really bad spot because, again, you're pretty much going to long the top of a daily resistance and you're going to end up getting wrecked. So please be cautious with your trade setups as of right now. Look at the exponential moving averages. Think logically, right? So think logically. Just because Ethereum has gone up from 3,300 to 3,700 does not mean, okay, I'm going to continue looking for long positions all the way up. Because again, now our exponential moving averages are completely over leveraged. We are not in the same sort of situation which we were earlier today. Earlier today, we did enter a long position, right? We entered a long position right here. We entered a very clean trade setup, right? That was all the way down at 3,500. Now Ethereum just hit almost 3,700. It's a big difference to be entering up here now versus down here. And that's why I keep telling you guys, please don't get greedy with your trades. If you're looking for scalping opportunities, you are simply just entering and exiting the market. There's no reason for you guys to be looking for massive trade setups here unless, of course, we break above 3683. Then it's a different sort of situation where we could see Ethereum easily rally into the 4,000 range. And then, of course, all-time high is right there. So yes, there's quite a lot going on in the market right now. But in terms of altcoins, I'm not seeing anything where I'm saying, okay, guys, we're looking for longs. We're doing this. We're doing that. I don't see anything of interest. Even Solana, like this is still in a point of retesting exponential moving averages. There's nothing in the market right now where I'm like superly heavily focused and saying, all right, guys, this is it. This is what we're doing. We're looking for longs. We have traded a lot of positions for the past few weeks. We have an insane hit rate in the market. I will choose not to send you guys positions if I don't see something available. I keep telling you guys this. If there is nothing trade worthy, I am not sending it because I don't want to see you guys get butchered and eaten alive by this market, mostly right before these trades start pushing to all-time high. It's much better for you guys to just chill, relax, let the market come to you, and then decide what you want to do with it. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. Same thing, XRP. Nothing happening for XRP for me to talk about. It's not doing anything of interest for me. I'm not interested in this trade setup. It's not something I want to focus on anyways, right? So hope that makes sense for you guys. But yeah, so anyways, any questions other than that? It's pretty simple trade setup. What's going on right now? Again, I would highly suggest you guys take tomorrow with your families, even tonight. Relax, let the market do its thing, and go outside. Spend some time with your families. The market's going to be here regardless. And of course, tomorrow morning, we'll definitely have a lot more confirmations in terms of trade setups and how we can play them. Right now, though, it's a very risky game because right now, even on Bitcoin, you can see that the current volume, it does not seem right, as well as the fact that exponential moving averages have not even been tested. So I don't want to see you guys enter a trade here and then the market ends up seeing a break formation and then now everyone's caught out. That's why I tell you guys, just let the market come to you. Be patient. Let everything fall into play. And then there will be trades. We traded today. We entered 2 trades today. We entered a Bitcoin long position right here at 36.7. It was a very nice profit. We entered a long position on Ethereum right here at 35.42 for some very nice profit. But again, that was waiting for this whole chop situation to play out and let the market come to us. That is why we entered those trades. Right now, I got nothing, right? I got nothing in terms of Doge. I got nothing in terms of the market. And even with Doge, I don't want to talk too much on it again because I want to make a video shortly here, but Doge is not looking good. It's not looking good for Doge. Regardless of today's moveset with Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything rallying, you can see that now we're starting to see a slight pullback with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And if I pull up Doge right now, you'll see that Doge is probably getting decimated, right? See, this is what I'm saying. This is the issue. Is a lot of folks probably said, okay, well, Doge is going for a long position. Now we're going to long Doge because Bitcoin and Ethereum are rallying. But look, now Doge is starting to break down. Doge is trying to fall back down to the same EMAs that it once started at. That's why we're not trading. We're not trading. Okay, so it makes sense. So I hope that makes sense for everyone. Okay. Can you explain the difference on entering on, for example, Doge breaks price of 0.44 and it broke and it came out to 0.5? Or is it the moment to enter or after the candle closed? So again, there's 2 ways to trade this. That's a good question. There's 2 ways to trade this, okay? So 0.44, so let's talk about this. There's 2 ways to trade. Number 1 is you can either trade into the break. So what that means is if you see the trade starting to push into 0.44, you can enter a short or a long position into that zone, right? So you're trading into that zone because you know that level is going to be tested. If, of course, that market structure ends up breaking, then you can ride your long position all the way up and continue playing your scalp or your stop losses as it continues. Number 2, the second way of trading it is, of course, waiting for the level to break. Now, waiting for the level to break it takes a little bit of skill, but again, it's a very profitable trade regardless. The reason why I don't recommend trading number 1 is trading into a resistance is very risky because, again, the market can get close to it. So here's a perfect example of this. You can see that 0.44 was a major resistance, I said, right? So this was 0.44. Market got close to 0.44, but then it ended up rejecting, right? We saw a massive flush towards the downside. That is the risk you're taking if you're entering before a major resistance. And this is why I say it's a skill, is because it takes a certain degree of understanding and emotions to be able to play like this. The second way is, of course, just waiting for a wick break. If it breaks, it's a guaranteed profit trade, like we saw on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and of course, Doge in this example. Those are guaranteed profit trades, right? So once we see a break, we enter, we long, we ride the wave towards the upside. Nobody knows when it's going to reverse, but we're guaranteed that profit at least. So I hope that makes sense, right? So again, if we're paying on that front, then ideally what you want to do is you just want to play the break and then wait for that time frame and then continue from pushing forward, right? So again, so wait for that continuation, ride the wave towards the upside, place your stops as you go. And of course, if the trade does end up reversing, then you simply just see your profits hit anyways, right? So you're pretty much putting your stop loss in profit as it rallies. So I hope that makes sense for you, Jotka. So I hope that makes sense. Why are altcoins going down still if BTC is popping? Isn't this altcoin season? No, I don't think this is altcoin season just yet. I think altcoin season is just starting. Like, again, I've talked about this before. I don't think altcoin season is here just yet. We're seeing some coins start rallying, right? We're seeing some continuations from some of these coins. But altcoin season is something, and I gave you guys this example on Cardano before. Look at Cardano's setup from here to here. Altcoin season is something from what we're probably right here in terms of altcoin season, right? But we're waiting for something like this. We want some massive breakout opportunities across the board for these coins. And that's what I'm waiting for, right? Waiting for Bitcoin dominance to drop, waiting for Bitcoin to #1 stabilize. Right now, Bitcoin is still pushing higher, right? We still have quite a ways to go in this market in this time frame before we see any sort of major altcoin season. I still think Bitcoin has quite a bit of rallying to do. I think Ethereum is just starting to show its hand and play the catch-up game because, again, with Bitcoin trading all-time high, I talked about this a very long time, Ethereum is the easiest trade of your life because Ethereum is going to hit all-time high sooner or later, and when it does, it's going to see a massive rally, and that's why I keep saying it is something you don't necessarily want to be shorting. It's not something you want to be selling. If you're in Ethereum, you just want to hold your spot positions for the long term, let it play out, and then, of course, come back. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so the safest way for take profits on scalp positions, honestly, is as soon as you see a break. So I can talk to you quickly about Ethereum's trade setup. So you can see on Ethereum, the wick high, today's trade setup was right here, right? So right there, wick high, 35.46. If you want to be accurate, let's just move it $1 up. There you go, 35.46. So you can see that Ethereum actually ended up breaking into the highs of 35.73. That's about a $30 trade, right? $30 scalp position guaranteed. That's a pretty big trade regardless of your leverage. And that's why I tell you guys, like, look, these break formations, you're supposed to just, if you're up 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15, 20%, just take the profits. If Ethereum ends up closing below, so again, you can see that it hit 35.73, then it got close to your entry again. Then what happened? The next candle, it pushed down below your entry, then it broke above. So what you're doing is you're scalping the market. You're taking the $30, $20, $10 Ethereum trades, waiting for the candle close, mostly when you're extremely overbought like this. See how the market plays for the next candle. If it breaks above that candle again, so 35.46 was the first trade. Second trade would have been right here at 35.73. Then we saw the same sort of formation into 36.11. Again, ride the profits towards the upside. You're placing your stop loss higher as it pushes. If it hits your stop loss, then you're waiting for candle close. And then again, next entry is 36.11, riding into. And the whole point is to know when to take your profits, or a better idea of how extreme it can get is simply just looking at the daily structure and looking at what's happening from previous price analysis. So if I was looking at it like this and I said, okay, there's quite a few wicks here at 35.42. If 35.42 breaks, where's the next set of wicks? The next set of wicks are here at 36.56. Okay, if 36.56 breaks, where's the next set of wicks? The next set of wicks are at 36.87. That's pretty much how I trade these zones. Although I'm scalping, I have mentally, I know when it's at an extreme point where I don't want to be entering the scalps anymore, and when enough is enough. Of course, if I'm up a lot of money for the day, then I'm probably just going to go enjoy my day, right? There's no reason to continue entering the trade over and over if, of course, we're uncertain of what's going to happen. That's why I always tell you guys, just please, please, please be aggressive with your trade setups. Look for these scalp positions, but know when it's time to be done. Understand when it's time to be done. So I hope that makes sense for you guys, right? But yeah, okay. All right, so thanks. That's pretty much all I got, to be honest. I don't want to go too deep into the trades because, again, tomorrow is a holiday and we're going to see quite a bit of market volatility regardless. So I don't want to dig too deep here. But just want to say thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate it. Again, like in terms of altcoin season, I do think that we'll probably see. I don't do time frames, man. Like, it's very hard for me to say, okay, on January of this day, we're going to see altcoin season. I think it's usually like, I want to say like halfway through Bitcoin's run is when we start seeing altcoins pick up, when the market starts to stabilize. So anyways, thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the likes. Once again, if you are new to the channel and you want to join the Telegram channel, it is absolutely free. I will link it in the bio once more. It is in the bio. I will link it in the chat as well for you guys. I appreciate you guys, and thank you guys so much for listening for 30 minutes a day. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will talk to you guys later tonight for Doge video, and then we will go from there. All right, peace out. Thanks, guys.